Welcome back for some more Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split action at Daytona. I am Austin Edstrom standing alongside Sheldon Atkins, and we've got Austin Derbyshire back behind the production booth. He's finally done at work, so he's been able to join us in the booth to watch some fantastic V-Open racing from Daytona. We just got done with the A-Open race not too long ago. Sheldon, it was a heck of a finish over in the next gens. Do you think we're going to get something similar here tonight with the Xfinity cars?
Well, one of the things I'm expecting a lot more of tonight, these Xfinity Cup cars, the bumpers line up closer to perfect than what we've had in previous years. When it comes to these Xfinity cars, man, they are really nervy. You got a lot of a really weird pivot point in the center of the front clip, and it will hook the guy in front of you if you're not careful. So I'm expecting chaos.
I would have to agree. We saw a lot of it in the A-Open. Now, I don't think the runs are going to be as big in this one, so maybe it'll be a little bit more tame, but it's not going to be, you know, a lot more tame. 31 degrees of banking all the way around the turns here at Daytona. Very, very fast racetrack. We all know that. We all know it's going to be absolutely insane, hitting just about 200 miles an hour. Coming down into turn number 3. We're going to move into our broadcast picks, though. Who we think is going to be able to handle that the best tonight? I'm going with the homer pick. I'm picking Justin Levine tonight. He had a terrible A-Open, got caught up in a ton of stuff that wasn't his fault. I think he's going to get a little bit of redemption.
I don't know about that Levine guy, man. He's kind of bad. I'm about to go with your personal favorite. What's his nickname again? I'm about to go with Trent. Come on,
One in the dink. One in the dink. Well, it's kind of a dink between the ones.
Well, we got a dinkle sandwich over here with Levine being the bread. Well, since we ran a little bit late, abbreviated keys to the race. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Say it in the mirror 3 times and Beetlejuice pop out.
Oh, Chris Mathis up on the pole with a 50.029. Trent Dinkle was only 1,000th behind. One in the dink. I mean, just right with his name. Who would have thought? James Morris ties Trent Dinkle for that second place position. iRacing actually has it a tie for the pole. Justin Levine starting in 4th. 5th place is Daryl Hahn. On his outside is Eddie Rose. Mitchell Lancaster starting in 7th with Ricky Utting on his outside in 8th. Clinton Inkle in 9th, and Nick Groth rounds out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got Jeff Kremer, followed by John Williams in 12th. 13th is going to be Cameron Sarton with Michael Thorpe Jr. in 14th. 15th is going to be Nate Nicholson, followed by Charles Velasquez in 16th. Oh, man, the scoring got weird over here on me. So I'm thinking 17th is Dustin Smith, but I might be wrong. Don't quote me. Is it? Hang on, I got to look back. Oh, my God. He's bad. I need to switch to ATVO. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we are. Yeah, Dustin Smith 17th, followed by Damian Pittman in 18th. 19th is going to be Adriana Gomez with Jacob Fiffield in 20th.
Dylan Murcott in 21st, Paul Servant in 22nd, Dusty Burkhart 23rd, Diego Ortiz in 24th. 25th place is going to be Blaine Davis with Timmy Longwood in 26 on his outside. 27th place is going to be Joey Doucette with Jason Brennan starting on his outside in 28th. And that's going to do it for your 28-car field here tonight. For the B Open, only 60 laps. The A Open had an extra 10 tacked onto the end of it. So I imagine that first fuel stint is going to be a little bit shorter for these guys. Maybe if a caution comes out around lap 20, we won't even be seeing any green flag pit stops.
Tell you what, I'm excited for this one. Back in the day, the B car used to be the absolute best plate car in all of the service. And I'm excited to see what they do. I haven't seen these things on a plate track since I've been back on here after my couple years break from the sim.
You think we have more or less chaos in the A Open?
Well, I'm assuming that they did not change the laser scans of these cars, so I'm assuming that front bumper is pretty much just a fulcrum point of death. So,
that's not good.
You know,
that scares me for sure.
Them 2-car tangos might get real dicey real quick.
Well, I'm hoping you're wrong. I think it's going to be a little bit cleaner than the A Open, to be honest. I think the A Open just has way bigger runs, right? So it just kind of lends itself to more accidents. Now, like you said, the bumpers don't line up quite as good here, but I feel like most of the drivers know you can't throw quite the same blocks as you can in the in the next gen car.
I do have to say, though, it is nice seeing cars run around Daytona that actually look like race cars.
You don't like what the next gens look like?
Man, I've tried so hard. Like I was so excited when they first came out, right? And then I got on here and I ran when they first launched the Next Gen League. I looked at the rear bumper of it, and they just all looked like Jackson Storm from Cars. And I just, ever since then, the immersion has been broken. The desire to look at those cars is gone. I will never buy a diecast of them. They all look exactly the same on the rear, man. It's just, I can't do it.
Well, we're coming up to the green flag for the first time tonight. iRacing pace car getting ready to pull down pit road. Chris Mathis up on the pole. Trent Dinkle on his outside. Coming down to the restart zone for the first time tonight. The B Open is green at Daytona. Dinkle falling back from that outside row a little bit, coming down into turn 1 and 2. Levine just now finding that back bumper, able to push him. Coming out of turn 2 with a big head of steam down the back straightaway. Morris all over the back bumper of Mathis down on the bottom, but Dinkle with a little bit bigger run on the top down the back straightaway, coming down to turn 3.
Looks like that inside line really got a good run on the start. Mathis in the lead right now. On the bottom, Dinkle's sucking back up at the top there with Justin Levine behind him. And just side by side, rows of 2 all the way through this field to the back.
Dinkle coming across the line. He's going to lead lap number 1 by 0.07 of a second over Mathis. Levine still all over the back bumper of Dinkle as we come down to turn 1. A little bit heavier on the engine cooling in the B car, you think? Like you gotta take care of it more than you do in the next gen?
Yeah, a little bit more. You don't have as big of a grill opening. These things, also since there's not much air coming from underneath the car, you don't have a whole lot of air getting into the actual front clip of the car. Really causes these things to overheat a little bit quicker, so you got to be a little more careful with it.
Mathis on the bottom side of the racetrack has used that lane pretty well over the first couple laps. Now he's pulled clear of Trent Dinkle. Morris giving him a good shot out of 4. Levine and Dinkle getting lined back up, mounting another charge towards the front of the field. It's going to be a little bit more of a chess match than that A Open. The A Open is chaotic, big runs coming from absolutely nowhere. B Open, you've got to work for your run. You've got to build it. You've got to find it with a dancing partner. And it takes time to build rather than just hooking up, getting in the draft, and all of a sudden you're flying. Here, you've really got to work at it. Levine and Dinkle have been working at it. Coming out of turn 4 last time, had a little bit of a run. Now, coming out of 2 this time, a lot bigger of a push. They got separated, but then Rose gave a good shot to Levine coming down to 3, and they're back hooked up on the outside, fighting for the race lead.
Side by side, Trent Dinkle leading the charge on the outside line with Mathis on the bottom. Dinkle looking like he's just getting a little bit of a nose on the inside. Looks like Dinkle's gonna lead this lap here for sure. He's got a good pusher there in second place up top. Levine, really aggressive, really good at getting people up to the front. He's a good company up there.
Mathis still doing a good job on that bottom side, not leaving that yellow paint way down there. Just wrapping the bottom. If you're not going to get passed and cleared down there, you might as well stay down there as long as possible. Now, Dinkle has the biggest run that he's had so far. Mathis comes up trying to get a little bit of side suck on him. Not going to be enough. It just kind of breaks up his run as Morris gets disconnected from the bumper. Coming down to 3, though, Dinkle was clear for a moment. Not anymore as Mathis powers back on the inside.
And that right there, what you're talking about, the side draft, that's one of the things that's really going to make this racing a little bit easier for a lot of these guys. The side draft does not mean as much here because these spoilers are so much smaller on these cars. And there's not nearly as much drag on the Xfinity car as you do have in the Cup car. So it's going to make it a little easier for these guys to kind of just run a line, not have to worry about being so aggressive charging the inside or outside lane. And it's also cool that, you know, the outside line is not the determining factor for these cars.
Justin trying to find a little bit of clean air coming off of turn 2. You see him offsetting to the left, just cooling a little bit, and then down the back straightaway where you've really got to push, at least give a little bit of a nod. He gives that push, dips back down to the bottom ever so slightly to get some more air, and then through 3 and 4, tucks right back in line through the center of the corner again, peeking that left side out ever so slightly, getting any little bit of cooling he can get to that nose to make sure that he can stay connected down the straightaways like he is now, coming down the front stretch, pushing Dinkle to the checker, or to the start-finish line, excuse me, into the race lead.
That was a quick race.
Yeah, no kidding. 6 laps. I'm going to bed.
No. Yeah, a lot cleaner, much better start this race than we had in that Cup race about an hour or so ago.
Well, to be fair, the start of the Cup race was marred because of an internet issue. that destroyed somebody's front bumper. We have not seen the internet issue yet, so clean and green.
Yeah, Levine kind of little shades of deja vu, different car up there in front of him, but still up in the same line, same position he was at the start of that last one.
Just so even between the front two. I mean, I know a lot of people towards the front or towards the back of the pack aren't pushing too hard. They're saving, making sure that they've got a car at the end of this thing. We see a lot of kind of stragglers off towards the back, just hanging on, right? Not really pushing themselves.
Ooh,
I feel like whenever they get into
wobble.
the pack and they start, determining whether they're in the bottom or the top lane, really pushing, we're going to see that top lane form up a whole lot better and push to the lead easier, I believe, unless they can somehow make that third groove come into play. But I think it's going to be a little bit harder to make a third groove in the B car than what we saw in the A.
It is doable in the B car, though. You need the right group of guys with the right setup to make it happen. You need 3 or 4 cars that are just committed to running up there and know exactly how to do it without scrubbing speed. Because you can go up there and get up to about 3rd, 4th car in line, but if you don't have somebody that's really good at pushing and charging that corner, you're really going to struggle and you're going to fall backwards really fast and not be able to make any progress.
Dinkle just barely in the race lead. The outside line starting to kind of prove itself to be just better, but they're a little nervy moment between Levine and Dinkle in the middle of the corner. But again, they're going to get the run coming off. Mathis does not have quite the same help that Dinkle does on the outside. And a big thing is that third car. Eddie Rose has been doing a fantastic job keeping that air bubble up on Levine.
Yeah, and if Eddie can get closer to Levine about 25, 30 feet sooner coming down that straightaway, that outside line is absolutely going to clear.
Well, the problem is maybe the car behind him. There's a way bigger gap between 3rd and 4th on the outside than there is between 2nd and 3rd. I mean, that's a huge gap that he's not being able to build a run from, right? He needs that 4th place car on the outside to get up to his back bumper and give him an air bubble. But Rose is not working with one right now.
Yeah, right now too, that 4th car in line knows that, hey, man, we're on lap 9. There is no point in me getting up there and mixing and getting into a more chaotic position than what I'm in right now.
It's a great point. Ricky Udding just kind of maintaining the track position right now.
Absolutely. That's one of the cool things about the B series on the plate track. So you get some guys out there that really absolutely center from start to finish, but you got a majority of the field that knows how tricky it is to get these cars around here in one piece. That'll just kind of hang out right in the back. There's a little bit more of an old school mentality with the B series than what we have in the Cup series right now.
Dinkle got clear of Mathis for the race lead not too long ago. Through 3 and 4, Mathis pulls back down to the bottom and even with Dinkle. Just been these two up at the front. Nobody making any big moves. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. Maybe a couple of them were watching that A Open race. Obviously, Levine was in it. Dinkle and Rose had some teammates in it, so maybe they're just thinking, let's take it a little bit easier here, a little bit smoother. And again, like I said, the runs aren't as big here, so you're not making as crazy of moves. They don't materialize, right? Those crazy big runs that we see in the next gen just don't happen. So it's a little bit easier for these guys to stay off of each other. And this is what I was talking about with the A car. Just take a little bit of the run power or a little bit of the drag out of the race cars, and that would fix itself, and we would have a lot cleaner racing.
And one of the things about, the thing that I've always noticed about the B cars, it's kind of like a fusion, right? Like, it's like an in-between between the old Gen 4 package and the COT. Like, just right in the middle of it, where you got the tandems, they work because the bumpers line up well enough, and you can get really good runs. But a majority of the time, you just kind of, trying to find a way through that air bubble on the car in front of you. It feels more rewarding to me running these cars than you do, the Cups or the trucks.
I'd have to agree because, like I said earlier, it's more of a chess match, right? I think the next-gen cars so chaotic that it doesn't necessarily always reward the fastest guys, the best super speedway guys. There's so much taken out of your control. In the B car, yeah, of course, it's still super speedway racing. You're still going to get the big wrecks that take out major contenders that probably didn't deserve it, but it happens way less frequently, way less frequently, and we typically end up getting a larger field finish in the Xfinity races.
Another thing too that not a lot of people talk about is your speed is really determined on where you are in the pack, more so in the B car than any of the others. Like, if you're about 6th, 7th in line, you can pull out and you can make a move and you can pick up 2 or 3 spots. But once you get up to about the 3rd row, it is like you hit a wall of air and you just cannot find a way to surmount past it. Like, you have to wait for the guy in front of you to make this mistake or somebody get crossed up, or you just have to get a really good run and get somebody to tandem you all the way down straightaway to make a move to actually pass somebody. And it's really difficult up there at the front. And it makes it more fun once you can finally find a way to, outsmart the guys around you. The best way that I've always found is 3 in the middle.
Typically, if you force it 3 in the middle in the Xfinity car, everybody has to go with you because the middle is just better than the outside. It's hard to pick up that guy on the outside who has, a drop in momentum. You want to go with the guy that forces the middle, that has the momentum, just make it easier to continue your run, to pick up the spot. So if you're on the outside, even if you're on the inside and you find a hole, that middle could be a very beneficial place to be. That's a nervy moment coming down to turn 3 with the slow car. Everybody giving them plenty of room.
You see Levine tapering off up high in the corners now. Really desperately trying to get air to the nose of that thing. You see him tapering here again in the tri-oval. Trying to keep that thing cooled down, trying to keep it from pop. He's probably looking at red on the dash right now.
And I feel like it's easier on the outside to control that if you're a big-time pusher. On the inside, sometimes you can get pinched down to where you really can't find any air by that outside groove, as we kind of see Levine doing here, coming off of turn 2, not really giving Morris much opportunity to find anything. And then down the back straightaway, Morris is just lined up so tightly on the back bumper of Mathis that he's not able to get any air, right? And I just think Levine through the center of the corners is able to breathe a little bit better just because he's got more racetrack to work with.
Yeah, and you had to be more aggressive on the bottom, too, just to push him to keep him equal with that outside. Because it is bogged down so much down there.
Hinkle and Mathis still side-by-side for the race lead. Justin Levine in 3rd, side-by-side with Morris. Both those guys been swapping that position back and forth lap after lap. Got a little bit of a break in the action, so we're just kind of stuck in this 2-wide gridlock so far in the B Open. So we're going to use this opportunity to shout out our presenting sponsor here tonight. I missed him in the A Open, so I want to make sure that I give Ryco their due diligence, because at Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We are more than a performance provider, preparing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve of the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge that you crave. Why should you choose Ryco? We have expert craftsmanship by a team of seasoned builders, cutting-edge performance enhancements tailored to your vehicle, and unrivaled coaching and reliability to handle the most demanding circuits on the iRacing platform. For more information, visit us at Ryco-motorsports.com, where we build champions and deliver results. Big thank you to Ryco for sponsoring the Ryco Performance Monday night top split action that we do week in, week out, all throughout the NASCAR season. We've had a great time broadcasting this year so far, and we can't wait for the, we still got, 12 races to go, including tonight, so plenty of weeks left to send this off with a bang this season.
Good Lord, only 12 left. Man, time is flying.
I agree with you here. If you start hearing me start getting scratchy or not able to talk, I can kind of feel my voice starting to go, so I apologize to anybody watching. I'm starting to struggle a little bit. Super Speedway races take a lot out of you.
Yeah, you did bring the volume on the last one, too.
Well, man, whenever they start wrecking all the time and they, it's a pretty good finish for the end, you start screaming a little bit.
Now we got to start wondering, man, when these guys are going to start diving it down for pit road.
Pit window is probably not open just yet, right? Probably another 3 laps.
Yeah, we're getting to that point where it's time to start, making game plans, start, I'm sure if you could see the chat logs of drivers back and forth, I'm sure there's a bunch of guys just firing off messages to each other here in the next handful of laps. Hey, man, what lap you pitting on? Because you got to have a buddy.
We're coming down to those green flag pit stops. So before we actually hit them, just in case a couple people do pull the short pit, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, like we said, we've got green flag pit stops.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's Ryco Performance Monday night top split action. We got the B Open race going on right now. Completed 22 laps out of 60. Trent Dingle up in the race lead. He's finally cleared himself down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Levine now the one trying to hang on the outside. Eddie Rose has lost touch of these guys. He's a little bit further back on the inside now. 6 car in line. Outside line kind of breaking up. That's making me think we got pit stops here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're getting into that window here. Dingle was absolutely committed to run up there on the top line with Levine, but when I get down there to the bottom, you don't have to pit from the outside lane. It's easier to kind of plan your strategy and your mode of attack from the inside line. And Dingle just doing what he does every week, man. Like a different type of track, and he's still up here at the front, dominating.
To the man who just sent a chat, Mr. Hedrick48. I think there's only one Ryco car in here today. One customer, Justin Levine, he's running third on that outside line in that GridVision #1 car. I don't think there's anybody else. Maybe there's a couple other customers in here.
Clinton Ingle's in here.
Oh, Clinton Ingle. Yeah.
Those are the two that I can confirm.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other customers in here, but I definitely don't have the laundry list of people that is.
Dingo's got to be the points leader right now, right? I'm about to look at that after this thing. Need to do more homework. Oh, Dingle bringing it in.
Here is the pit. Yep, they're all coming. That's the biggest group we've seen come down. This is where you start getting nervy. Does somebody run over somebody? You get caught speeding, just trying to dodge some people. It looks like everybody got down pretty clean. So no issue so far down pit road. A lot of Conti cars coming down. A lot of individual drivers coming down, I got to imagine. Not associated. That's a good chunk of the field. You got to think probably the rest of them come down this next time.
You have to at this point, right? They've kind of forced your hand to come on in. And also at the same time, though, I mean, we saw how the pack was running. You know, when they're all bunched together, it didn't really seem like the guys in the back were getting too crazy runs. So you got to think maybe, a handful of guys stay out, 4 or 5 guys stay out, stay lined up.
Wow.
And stay later. And might actually work for them if they can stay formed up better than that first pack was.
That's the thing. If these guys can just stay on the bottom side of the racetrack in a single file line after this group has had to, reconvene after the pit stop, they can make a whole lot of hay and make up a lot of ground. So, maybe run it for another 3-4 laps. Make sure that you wait until that group actually finally gets reformed. And we see it right here, mostly single file, though Mathis just jumps out of the bottom groove to go to the back. Oh, you can tell they're trying to make hay. Levine is all over the back bumper of Morris now. They are shoving for everything they got, just trying to pick up as much time. This is the moment to do it, right? Pit stops is where you can make a lot of hay. You can separate the pack. And basically, if you're better on pit road, if your group is the one better on pit road, you've eliminated half of the competition as long as you can continue that advantage through the rest of the race. Just be a little bit quicker than that other pack. So that's what these guys are trying to do. Levine just, like I said, all over the back bumper of Morris, doing everything he can to make every little bit of time.
That's what you get when you got a guy that has as much experience on these plate tracks as Levine does. Somebody that knows when to be aggressive, somebody that knows when to slow down and reel it in a little bit. And making good time here. Yeah, he knows
Here
when
are
to
the
hold
guys
him
that
and
pitted.
knows when to fold him.
They have that second pack has stayed out, or excuse me, the leading group has stayed out again. So Morris and Levine still working to try to catch these guys in front of them, put a little bit more distance between them
Also,
before the pit stop.
look, he's having another good run this week, man. The 21 machine of Davis. I'm not just saying that because that is a beautiful paint scheme he's got on that number 8 snap-on hot rod, but
I love that thing.
dude, he has been showing up the past few weeks just inside of the picture. Top 10s, top 5s, really clicking it off, really getting some forward momentum going on this season for him, and it's really good to see. That's the thing I love about this series, man. It's a mixed bag of drivers, and it seems like just about anybody can kind of get out here and get a good run so long as they got the right stuff underneath them.
Let's see. Dinkle just ran a 47.7. Watching the leaders come across the line, they ran a 48 flat. So the cars that have not pitted, they are actually losing time right now. At that point, I feel like you got to cut your losses and come down pit road and try to stay in the main pack after the pit stop.
Yeah, you've got to come now. They're going to just gap you way too much at this point. And, you also got to think, too, some of these guys maybe low field a little bit, made a couple adjustments to try and make that car just a little bit faster in the air, and, couple little tricks in the notebook.
Coming up to halfway here, just about. The leaders coming through 3 and 4, about to take lap 30, so we'll have one more lap to go before we hit halfway. And Clinton Engel peeling off with Mathis. So 2 Ryco cars coming down.
That is a disadvantage right there if I've ever seen one.
Oh, yeah. Now, if they can come out and blend in with that other pack, they'll be fine. But if they pop out a second behind them, absolutely no chance. They will be dead in the water.
But they're going to have to pull something crazy on pit road here to get out in front of these guys because these guys have reeled in so much of that gap already. Man, that 16 looks pretty stout.
Mathis and Engel are coming off of pit road right now, but they're not anywhere near connected. Mathis had a way worse time on pit road. Engel coming down into 1 now, has just hit where the banking is, obviously still down on the apron. In the middle of 1 and 2 now is a couple more of the leaders peel off. Really late on the brakes for Levine. Again, trying to maximize every little bit you can. Watching Engel now. He's getting passed by the main pack.
Man.
Mathis is definitely getting passed by all of them. Engel, he may be able to latch on to the end, but they are flying by him quick.
Oh, and huge problems on pit road there, too. We saw the 21 machine of Davis. Ended up getting in a weird spot there, and just very, very disjointed entry to pit road and entry to the boxes for these guys. It came in 3 wide. That is really going to hurt them here when it comes to getting that speed to try and keep up. And also, it was only 4 or 5 cars that came down.
Levine and Morris now going down into turn 1 as the leaders have just hit the start-finish line. They're going to be in the exact same situation that Engel and Mathis were in. I don't think that they're much better. Maybe a little bit. They might be able to hang into the pack, because I think Levine is going to be on the straightaway before. Yeah, they might be okay. They'll at least be in the pack. They're going to get swallowed, but they'll be in it.
Oh, and the one just stops right down below the double yellow to get by Morris.
That's one way to do it. Hey, it worked. He kept the car clean, so fair enough. Morris, he's going to have to fight to stay here. I think Levine's got a better shot. Still on the bottom side of the racetrack, side drafting some guys now. He's got some guys pulling down in front of him, getting into the draft. Morris a little bit further back. He's close to hanging on. He's got to find that draft, though. He's got to go up just a little bit higher down on the straightaway, get behind that Interstate Batteries machine.
He's in danger of losing it right here if he doesn't get up there.
Close.
Because this is that window. I'll say one thing: you want to find out how good the pull is in these cars in the pack, how easy they are to work through. I'd get a camera over there on Levine right now because he's going to. If anybody's going to fly through this field, it's going to be him. Already up to 8th spot.
He's going to try. That is
6th
for
now.
Sure. Cameron Sarton leading that outside groove, trying to get to the outside of Dinkle for the lead. He's going to get there. He's got a huge push from Smith, who's got a huge push from Levine down at the line. Sarton and Dinkle too close to call between the two of them. Still one guy out that has not come down pit road. Or excuse me, they just pitted that lap, so the lead has switched over to Cameron Sarton and Trent Dinkle. You know, Sarton made that move on the very, very bottom, you know, going down below the yellow line. If he doesn't do that, he's probably not up here side by side for the race lead right now.
No, not at all. And also, I got to tell you, though, at the same time, man, we're getting to that point now. Everybody's good on fuel. Everybody's got, you know, other ducks in a row. This is when the chaos is going to start creeping in. This is where guys are going to start throwing crazy moves, where guys are going to start throwing blocks, because everybody's confident with what they got now. And they know that they have nothing in between them and the checkered flag of this race.
I'm kind of just trying to figure out the teams that we've got organized still in the main pack. Obviously, the 3 Conti cars down on the bottom, they're not going to hurt each other very much. They're going to try to work together. Dinkel, Williams, Groth, all got that Team Conti on the hood. They're all going to work together. Cameron Sarton, Team Watson Racing, he's got a teammate up here. Michael Thorpe Jr., the 4th car on the outside line, who's behind Justin Levine, who is a Ryco car. I believe Levine might be the only Ryco machine still in the top. I see a couple more, or I see one more Conti car, Velasquez Jr. back there. So just off the numbers. Oh, Levine putting it to the inside here. He's going to be able to get to be the 2nd car on the outside. And Smith goes way high.
Got a straight nitro machine out here, too, with Nicholson. A lot of Conti cars, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Coming down to the end of these races, you want to have numbers.
You got Gomez out here rocking the Conti colors. Velasquez. Morris driving for Elite. I mean, it's all over the place.
And, you know, if you're one of the Team Watson cars, or you're Levine, you're Nicholson a little bit further back, you're the Nitro car, you might want to work together. Oh, of course, as soon as I say that, Levine says, no thank you. I'm just going to jump in front of the Conti parade down here on the bottom side. I'm going to go for the race lead myself. Down to the inside of Cameron Sarton, Justin Levine, rockets to the lead.
I don't want you to say anything else about this B car not being that good in the draft, because we just watched this man go from almost, you know, being in a position where he could have lost the draft 5 laps ago up here to the lead on the bottom at Daytona.
Hey, I didn't say it wasn't good in the draft. I just said you don't get as big of runs. Now, that leads it, that I swear that lends itself to the people that are actually good and talented at the super speedway racing. They can find their way to the front. I'm looking at Levine. I'm looking at Dinkel. They've been up front the entire night. There's a reason for that. It's harder to do that in the A car. It's just too chaotic. This is a little bit more talent based.
The Team Watson machines up there on the outside. Sarton and Thorpe working really hard, trying to get that lead away from Levine on the inside. Falling behind on the straightaway here, though. That inside's just really well formed compared to the outside.
Well, and what's, you know, I was talking about the team stuff earlier. I was talking about how the 3 Conti cars were all lined up on the bottom side of the racetrack. The one way that you can beat the Conti cars in that sense, you can ruin their teamwork, is if you pull down in front of them and you stay side by side with that car on the outside, because guess what? Those Conti cars can't go anywhere, right? They're stuck to your back bumper. So for Levine, that's the best thing he can do. He just doesn't want Dinkel to get to the middle. He's got to really keep in mind that Dinkel will put him 3 wide.
And also think at this stage in the game, too, Dinkel's not going to be too aggressive to Levine, because, I mean, Levine pushed Dinkel to the lead so many times on that last run before he went to the pit stops. I guess what I was talking about last race, you know, kind of build friendships, build relationships, find guys to work with. That's what Levine did on that first run with Dinkel, and he picked Goen to work with, because, I mean, it's Dinkel. Dinkel, not a super aggressive guy either. You know, he'll probably line in here and work with him as long as he can until we get to the last 10.
It's a fair point. It's been very clean and green so far. Nobody has really put a wheel wrong. So I don't really see much that's going to change that until we really get down to the end of this thing, start to decide it. So I think he might be safe for a little while too, but that's kind of a part of it too. You want to catch him napping. If Levine is thinking, okay, he's going to ride for the next 15 laps and just stay behind me, that's whenever Dinkel needs to pounce. That's whenever he needs to make the move, because Levine wouldn't be expecting it. He's going to be expecting it with 7 to go.
Yeah, but it could also be too early too, though. When it comes to a ringer like Levine, if you go and make that move early, he's going to find a way to catch you sleeping before this thing's over. You want to get him in the last handful of laps.
Having the teammates helps. Really does.
Oh, yeah, teammates help, but
you make a move, he knows for a fact that his teammate right behind him is going to move.
Teammates help, but when you're going against a guy that, you know, is either bring home the trophy or the steering wheel, then teammates can only help you but so far.
We're nearing up on the 2/3 mark of the race, so we're going to go ahead and take our second and final commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, we got the finish of the B Open at Daytona.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. We got the B Open coming at you live right now. 17 laps to go. Justin Levine, your race leader on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's got 3 Conti cars lined up behind him, kind of trapping them on that bottom side behind the back bumper of them. Cameron Sarton and 2 Team Watson Racing setups cars on the outside, trying to get the lead away from Levine.
Be difficult. Can Levine do anything with these teams? Up here up front now, led, the last handful of laps. Got one car diving into pit road way behind the pack. Weird call.
Might have underfueled too much.
Yeah, maybe. Easy mistake to make. That auto fuel, man, it'll bite you sometimes. You don't read it proper.
Still side by side for the lead. Nobody but Levine has been willing to make moves through the field, it feels like. Like, nobody else has tried any big moves.
Yeah, it's weird because, we know that you can do it. We've literally sat here and watched that one machine do it, carve through the field from the back of this pack all the way up to the front. And, it just looks like he's caught everybody sleeping.
Sarton was clear of him coming down to turn 3. He thought better of taking the run. Thought for sure he was gonna pull down and make it a Team Watson 1-2, control both lanes. Instead, he stays out on the outside with his teammate, and they still got the momentum though, with that outside groove working a little bit better.
I mean, there's a lot of nervousness too, though, when it comes to dropping down from the top rope in front of the low line here, because it's very easy to do that and misjudge it just a little bit and get yourself turned around. And a lot of chaos happens when you get that big checkup on the inside as well. Plus, I think it's just
still with a huge push.
And plus, I just think he's committed to his teammate. He's, been with him this entire run here.
I understand that, and to be fair, if he jumps down to the bottom side, it's probably going to open up an opportunity for a couple of those Conti cars to get a little bit further out to the outside and get off that bottom groove. So that could be what he's looking for.
I think he's looking at it like this, man. I got my teammate behind me. I got, I can see clean track in front of me. Get down to the last handful of laps. If I can stay up here and make this work, I can pull a crazy side draft on him in the tri-oval and get the lead coming to the line.
And that's all you got to do. You don't have to clear.
Oh, we got one around.
Oh, they're wrecking. Coming down to turn 3. The 5 goes spinning. Multiple drivers into the outside wall. The first caution of the night, and it's about 5 vehicles involved with relatively decent damage. I feel like most everybody got away from that one okay.
This changes just about everything now, though. You got that whole line of cars behind these guys that are behind, going to catch up. Your RC just a little close.
Well, good save from Dinkle.
All right, there you just got 2 guys, misjudged just a little bit where the other one was. Next thing you know, they're all around.
That's the thing. He's trying to side draft down up to the top side of the racetrack. I don't know if it was netcode at first. Let's get another look.
I don't know. I think
he just.
I don't think that was so much a side draft as I think he was trying to form a third lane there.
Well, yeah. He was trying to go 3 wide, right? But he made it even further to the outside. He had the 3 wide move done, but he went even further outside to side draft. That's kind of what I was getting at. He was trying to shoot the gap, side draft the car on the outside to make sure that he was the new outside car, right? He was going to push him to the third lane and shuck him out. But I think he went a little bit too wide. The 99 might have come down a little bit too. I think he just came up to side draft and he misjudged it a little bit.
Yeah, shame for Nicholson because you're just up there minding your own business. The next thing you know, you're up into the fence.
And it's such minor contact.
He tried so hard to save that thing too.
It's frustrating because they do just barely touch. Nothing crazy in it, but a lot of guys coming down pit road.
Well, these are guys that have damage too, though.
Not all of them. There's a lot of guys coming down pit road.
The ones that led that charge, though, all kind of torn up some way. Dinkle, right rear quarter pound knocked off of it. I mean, some of these guys
that's more damage than I thought for Dinkle. Dang.
Yeah. That is a critical area on this car, too, and he's also got skirt damage on the right side. That gave the lead to Sarton and Thorpe. That's really going to hurt Levine here. 10 laps to go, restart. You got to get by 2 teammates that are definitely going to time it down together.
Well, does it hurt them? They're going to be separated.
If they time it right, and I'm sure they're probably sitting in the Discord, they can probably get the jump together. One of them tapers in behind the other.
I'm sure the leader of Sarton will probably jump to the outside in front of Thorpe, but I still feel like that outside or the inside groove is going to be a little bit better lined up on the restart. Have a little bit more help towards the middle of the pack to boost them forward. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested in what the bottom lane does after Sarton jumps up if he chooses to do so.
Definitely going to be interesting, but also you got to factor into that probably is not the last wreck that we've seen for the night.
I think that's a safe bet. It was the first one, though. I mean, we made it a long time, a lot longer than the A Open. So credit to these guys for getting us to that point.
This has absolutely been an incredible race. Not as, exhilarating as what we saw with the Cup cars earlier. But, man, if you like watching good races, you got it here.
Get a week in, week out in GridVision. Come on now. Every single day that we got a broadcast, we got a good race. Tuesdays with the champion power equipment. I mean, God bless. Those races get crazy recently. We've got 2 fantastic races coming up. Obviously, Daytona tomorrow night. I'm super excited. Darlington the week after.
Yeah, we got
I
good
mean,
stuff.
Friday
We
night
got
again.
good stuff lined up right now. But I mean, are you really going to say that every week's been great? We had Gateway a few weeks back.
And we also had the Chicago Street Course.
Yeah.
But to
The
be fair,
Conky Donkey.
that birthed the Conky Donkey, so it made up for it. Daytona birthed LaQueen, but he's not been fading fast tonight.
Well, he was in the
Where's the
last
fun?
one.
Well, that's fair. He did fade fast. What's one where McQueen did good, where we can, what's a good call for him? I don't think he's gonna, reverse it and push somebody across the finish line. So we can't really do that.
I hope not, but you never know with Justin. He's a hard one to keep tabs on.
I think he's way too competitive to do that. He'd spin somebody out and start laughing.
Oh, he would absolutely. He would wreck his mother.
Exactly. So he
In a
wouldn't go back
heartbeat.
up for her. He'd come back around on the pace lap or the cool down lap the next time to make sure she didn't die in the wreck. But
Hey, you good? Cool. I'm burning it down.
middle finger out window.
In that thick New York accent of his.
See, that's where the nickname comes from. LaQueen's.
The Queens. The
He's from
Bears.
Queens. I don't even know if he is, to be fair.
Well, we've done a good job tonight, man. We've kept the brain rot to minimal.
Yeah, I've ditched most of the brain rot material. It was funny for a week or two, but you can't keep that going.
Doing all right. Also helps we got something wonderful to watch here, though.
Absolutely. 10 laps to go. Coming to the line this time. Cameron Sarton is your race leader. Michael Thorpe Jr. on the outside. Justin Levine inside of row number 2. Daryl Hahn outside. I feel like it's got to come from one of those guys or one of the Conti guys way further back that just get hooked up and come to the field. But the pace car is off. We're coming back to the green with 10 laps to go. Who's it going to be from Daytona? We're racing once again.
A little bit of wheel spin further in the back of the pack on the bottom line. Probably going to stall them out just a little bit here, but the outside line does not get formed just yet.
And Sarton did not get clear on the restart like I thought he might. I think he gave the countdown, but the outside line just did not stay stacked up for Thorpe. And now he's going backwards. Maybe going to get some help from Hahn here in 3 and 4, but everywhere behind is not stacked up. Oh, but 2 jump up. Then Morris comes back down. Now the outside line is packed, and Levine has nowhere to go as Thorpe's on his outside with a huge run down the back.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Thorpe with a huge run. Inside line still not forming up too well. It's like a snake down there on the inside. But Hahn not really giving a good enough push to Thorpe to really get him moved across. Levine is pushing the heck out of Sarton, though.
Sarton's clear. Does he take the momentum and go in front of his teammate? No, he stays with Justin Levine on the bottom. Probably the smarter decision if you want your team car to win. Control both lines and nobody can beat you. That's what Sarton's thinking. He stays in front of Levine. It's a TWRS 1-2.
Yeah, but at some point, man, that team affiliation, it ain't gonna matter too much. Only one of y'all can win this thing. You got a hungry Justin Levine right there behind you. Levine's clear to the top. Now, what's he gonna do? Not much, because the top's charged back before he can make the move.
Not quite clear enough. That outside line had a head of steam coming down the back straightaway. Hahn got a little squirrely down the back, though. Kind of killed the run, and now down into 3. They're gonna have the shorter distance around the racetrack. Do they have the better run? Can Levine push hard and clear? They're wrecking further back. We got a spinner down on the apron and then a couple into the wall. Caution flag is flying. Sorry, if you hear any crackling, that is my new puppy playing with a water bottle. I'm trying to get it away from her. Sorry for the intrusion there. She likes to eat everything, but gonna look at the replay, kind of decipher exactly what happened towards the back of the pack here. Ow, dang it.
Oh, man, there's a huge wreck there. 99 machine just did not.
Can't catch a break. Been involved in both accidents tonight.
Well,
I guess that's not. He really couldn't catch a break.
You gotta slow down for them, buddy. There we are. Oh, no, Dinkle.
Well, the 7 washed up in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, but Dinkle just unfortunate end for a race that he could have won.
Like, I guess you put that on Dinkle because it's like, I guess you have to check up if somebody throws a block, but man, that's a weird block. I've never seen
No,
somebody
I'm
throw a
not
block like
saying
that.
it. I'm not saying anything about it being Dinkle's fault. It's just a darn shame.
Yeah,
He just
that's
slides up. 16 was there, and round she goes.
That's a weird one. I mean, the 7's entitled to do that in the middle of the corner, right? We've been seeing people throw blocks all night, so it's not like it's anything ridiculous. But
No,
I
no,
can
it's
see why that would have put Dinkle off in that situation. Like, that was a very weird move in the center of the corner.
I really feel like Dinkle didn't see the 16 on his outside.
A little tunnel
Like, I
vision
know,
there.
yeah, exactly. He's paying attention. Like, okay, I need to move forward, and he doesn't, notice that there's a car that just charged his outside right then and there. They're about dead even coming into the corner, so you can't really see him. And then it's a darn shame, man.
Dinkle took blame for that incident. That's a weird racing incident at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I guess if you have to put fault on somebody, I guess you'd put it on Dinkle. But
Yeah, he did turn the wheel to the right. And
he did, right? I mean, he's the one that made the contact. But man, he got put in a precarious situation there. So
yeah.
I'm being a little bit more lenient with that than I normally am. It's just that was
good on Trent. Good on Trent for being respectful and apologizing for his mess there. Yeah,
enough.
real courteous fella.
Because he was in second. He cleared Thorpe, so he's going to get to start on the front row.
Oh, the problem for Levine now is, I don't know, has that 28 really been much of a pusher tonight? Because that's who's going to be lining up behind him.
It's a good question. I don't think we've seen him all night. He's been playing it safe, not really pushing up towards the front of the field. I don't think we've said his name once. But Jeff, I guess probably Kremer, has found himself up to fourth, and well, he's going to get a chance to prove himself here right now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky for Levine because he's going to be, dancing with a all-new partner here that he hasn't met all night. And I don't know how aggressive the 28 is, how fast it even is.
Whenever it comes down to the end of the night, you just got to give yourself a shot and hope you got somebody that knows how to push or that you can push well and make a move. Doesn't really matter who it is at the end of the day. You just got to find somebody and hope. And obviously, through the first lap or two, if he's not giving them the best shoves, you get down to the bottom or you find somebody else to work with and you try it again. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do to control it. And again, we haven't seen him all night, so I don't know. He could be really, really good at pushing.
I just don't think that the bomb's going to be an option, man. Those Watson cars are going to be stacked down there. You can bet, the entire house on the fact that Thorpe and Sarton are going to be counting each other down now, for sure.
And a really big surprise at the end of this race is that we don't see any Conti cars in the top 5, right? I mean, we've got Velasquez back in 8th. But a couple of these Conti cars have been involved in a few of these incidents, and it's completely thinned their numbers to where they don't even have a guy at the front of the field. I thought that they were going to be the team to beat, right? You got the numbers. They're a solid team. Like, you expect them to be the guys to beat whenever it comes down to the end of it, but they are nowhere to be found up here right now. And it's really opened the door for these Team Watson cars, for Levine, for a guy like Kremer or Gomez or Hahn to steal a win here.
I mean, you got the old saying, the sun doesn't shine on the same dog's tail every day, and it's been shining on Conti a lot here this year, and they've had just about everything that can go wrong for them strategy-wise go wrong this race. Had a couple unfortunate incidents here and there, too.
Lights on the iRacing pace car are out, so we're going to get a restart with 5 laps to go. Hopefully we can stay green so we don't have any green-white checkered shenanigan. But, super speedway race on iRacing. It'd be a stupid bet to say there would be no cautions to the end of this thing.
So who's your pick on this one, buddy?
The question mark is Kremer. I like the Team Watson cars down on the bottom. I know I picked Levine in the pre-race, and I guess I'm going to stick with that, but I would not be surprised if Sarton and Thorpe pulled this off.
I don't see any way. Because those two are going to stay hooked together.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. The iRacing pace car is coming off. Hopefully for the final time tonight. We're racing once again. Cameron Sarton back to the gas. What can that outside line do? Can they stay stacked up? Can Levine get a run?
Sarton pulled really far in front of Thorpe there, and that's going to give that outside line a huge run by the time that Thorpe actually gets to the back end of Sarton. It's going to really check that inside line up, and there it is. You see it, Levine getting a nice push from the outside from Creamer.
That outside line's coming off of turn number 2, a little bit more stacked up. Sarton's got the help from his teammate, but he doesn't have any help from behind. The outside line is stacked up heavily from first on fourth. Velasquez finally lifts a little bit to give some breathing room to the 15, but the front 2 clear themselves down. In front of the Team Watson cars, Justin Levine to the lead, Kremer to second.
Well played by Levine to be able to get down there to the bottom. Did a good job also pulling Kremer with him. You want to get him down there to block those Team Watson's cars back there, second and third in line. You don't want them to be, right behind you. Great move. Well played there. And they're starting to form another run up there on the outside line with a Conti car. Velasquez up there in second on that outside with the 15 of Gomez leading that charge.
How aggressive are these blocks about to be from Levine up in the lead? Oh, well, there's one right there. To the outside, blocking Gomez. Little stack up on the outside groove. Now back down to the bottom to cover off Kremer.
Oh, my Lord. Shades of Logano here. Let's hope it works out a little better for him.
Ooh, Kremer a little high through the corner. Almost letting Sarton get down to his inside, but did not quite have the run. Now coming off of turn 4, Levine still on the bottom side. Waiting for that run from the 15. Waiting to see if he needs to pull up down the front straightaway. Kremer all over the back bumper, giving him a good push. The 15 has a bit of a run coming down the second short chute as we funnel down into turn number 1. Levine still in the lead now with the shorter distance around the corner. It'll be tight though with Gomez side drafting Kremer on the bottom.
Levine right now saving the blocks. Still there on the inside. Huge push from behind from Kremer. That outside line getting one heck of a run though. Gomez is leading a charge up there now. Dead even down the center of the back.
The front 3 are nose to tail on the outside, getting a huge shove. Levine is also getting pushed down into turn 3. Kremer has not left the back bumper. It was a big question mark for Kremer on the restart, but he's been fantastic all over the back bumper of Levine since it's dropped. Thorpe through the middle. He put his teammate 3 wide. Velasquez into the wall. Everybody keeps it straight. We're still racing. A big move from the Team Watson car. Still 3 wide for 6. As that outside line has died off of that.
Yeah, that just tore that outside line all up. All that momentum that they had saved gone. But now you got Sarton moving up there to the top now. With a Conti car in between him and Thorpe.
Can we take the white flag before the yellow down the back straightaway? Levine thinking about a block, seeing that run from Sarton.
He's going to take it
late from Levine.
Oh, in the crossover.
Bottom. Now Levine gets a bump from Gomez, but Sarton has no help. Here's the help. Michael Thorpe Jr. down to the inside. That's his teammate trying to push him through.
Oh, my Lord. I don't know how nobody wrecked there. Amazing play by Sarton. He just faked him out.
White flag, 1 lap to go in Daytona. Levine on the outside, Sarton on the inside. Is it going to be one of them, or will somebody in the outside groove stick it 3 wide?
Side by side down here to turn number 1. Levine ahead by just a nose, but Sarton fighting back on the bottom hard. Great pushes from Gomez right now in second place, though, all over the back of Levine.
This is where the moves are going to come in, though. The outside line's breaking up. Lancaster 3 wide, way to the outside, trying to get some help from Morris, who's getting side drafted. The middle lane is still stronger, but the bottom line is strongest. Cameron Sarton gets pushed out in turn 3 as they make contact behind, and they start wrecking. Clinton Engel into the outside wall, multiple other drivers involved. 2 Team Watson cars coming off 1-2 out of turn number 4. Levine on the outside, but it's not going to be enough. Cameron Sarton is going to win for Team Watson at Daytona.
Oh, my God. That was awesome.
What a finish. That was a fantastic finish. Congratulations to Cameron Sarton. Congratulations to all of Team Watson for that 1-2. Heck of a job from those guys. They made the right moves at the right time. Got the bottom line whenever that middle line was going to end up fading with people making it 3 wide. Heck of a job from all those guys. Keeping it clean as well as they did. That was a good race.
And these guys right here, they ought to pat themselves on the back, both of them, because they stayed the plan, they stayed the course. They did exactly what they had to do as teammates to make sure that they locked themselves in for this win. It's very rare that you see teammates actually work with each other that well from start to finish in one of these things.
Absolutely fantastic from the Team Watson duo. That's how you run the super speedway race right there. And they're both going to come down to the start finish line for that heck of a win. I mean, you know, if you're Thorpe, you're upset you don't get the win, but you almost have to take it as a win with these super speedway races. You got to think, man, we just finished 1-2 as a team at Daytona. You got to count that as a win in the book, or in your eyes. If you're Michael Thorpe, you did everything you could, push your teammate to the race win. Deserve it just as much as Sarton though pulled some hella great moves, down the back straightaway to get to the inside of Levine and cap that off as he does the burnouts on the front straightaway. We're going to take our final commercial break. Whenever we come back, we are going to talk to our top 3 finishers. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. We just finished up the B Open race from Daytona. Cameron Sarton and Michael Thorpe Jr. bring home a Team Watson 1-2. Justin Levine for Ryco brings it home in 3rd on the podium. Daryl Hahn in 4th. Adriano Aguiar Gomez in 5th. Dylan Murcott 6th. Joey Doucette in 7th. Jason Brennan in 8th. Ricky Utting 9th. And Mitchell Lancaster rounds out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got James Morris, followed by Jacob Feffield in 12th. 13th is going to be Blaine Davis. 14th is going to be Damian Pittman, followed by Paul Servant in 15th. 16th is going to be Dusty Burkhart with Chris Mathis in 17th. 18th is going to be Eddie Rose. 19th is going to be Clinton Ingle, and rounding out your top 20 is going to be Timmy Logwood.
Going down to 21st, Jeff Kremer, Charles Velasquez in 22nd, Trent Dingle 23rd, Nick Groff in 24th, Dustin Smith in 25th, Diego Ortiz in 26th, with John Williams and Nate Nicholson rounding out the 28-car field here tonight from Daytona. I have not gotten in touch with the top 2 finishers yet. I have tried to get them to Discord, so they may join in a moment. But first, we are going to talk to our 3rd place finisher of Justin Levine. He had a chance at the end of it, just did not have a dancing partner. Justin, heck of a race for you tonight, coming from the back to the front after the green flag pit stops. Just walk us through your night. How tough was it out there tonight?
It was extremely challenging. Having no teammates, or at least the other Ryco customer cars were in the back there. Just every chance I had, I felt like it was a 2v1. They changed the package a little bit where the water temp overheats really fast, and the whole race you had to watch your temp. I think I was watching the gauge more than I was looking out front or in the rearview mirror. Come down to the end there, just perfect time between the Team Watson cars. They timed it perfectly. I really thought staying on the top, being able to pinch them with the 15 would have worked. Coming down the back there, 6 took it 3, which if I was in his position, I would too. I'm not going to sit here and push in line. And it just killed all the momentum on the outside, and then they ended up wrecking. But congrats to them. That was a hell of a battle, and they earned it.
Well, Justin, you had a rough one in the A Open. So how does it feel to come to the B Open and, put yourself at the front of the field? Yeah, you didn't have the dancing partner like the Team Watson cars, but you gave yourself an opportunity here at the end. And that's all you can really ask for at the super speedways. And, you caught so much bad luck in the A Open. Does it feel good to just get this thing across the line in 3rd?
Oh, of course it does. But being wrecked so early and having that netcode issue where I lost the front bumper, it takes the wind out of your sails right away, and it put me in a hole where I had to push the car to get back out front, and then as soon as I got back out front, get wrecked again. So being able to compete for the win, lead laps, almost lost the draft. Being chat banned, I can't message anybody to figure out when we're pitting or not. And I got people messaging me, and I was like, now, and I just tugged it hard left, and everyone came with me. So it feels awesome just to bring home third.
Well, Justin, congratulations on the top 3 tonight. Who do you have to thank at the end of this one?
Definitely you guys, press broadcast team in the business, and of course Ryco. Without them, I'm not this fast. Goes week in, week out, can move through the field from the back to the front, especially tonight. Perfect example. Cars are bad fast, and be on the lookout this week for all the Ryco cars.
Well, Justin, congratulations tonight on coming home in P3. Looking forward to seeing what you can do maybe Friday night whenever we have the NIS come back around.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty, that was your third place finisher, Justin Levine. Next up, we're going to pull up our race winner of Cameron Sarton. He gets the job done here tonight. Cameron, you and Michael worked together so well at the end of that race. Just walk me through the end and how y'all were able to find each other and make it work.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. A lot of fun up front. We I went early there on that final restart, and he kind of, I don't know what happened to him. He didn't get a very good restart, even though I was counted out down with him on Discord. But got a little too far in front, lost some track position, and then once I think Charles blew up there on the high side, that was kind of my opportunity to go up there. Because you're just kind of pinned to the bottom and stuck. Another guy blew up on the inside when we were on the outside, kind of chasing down Justin. He went up. Luckily, there's a car room down. Went down there to the bomb side. Luckily, Thorpe got down there, and the rest was history. So we are communicating a lot in Discord. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, talk to me about your move on Justin down the back straightaway, right? He pulled to the outside trying to block you. You had just enough room to clear the inside line and then get your teammate behind you. After that, I mean, down the back straightaway, was that the move to win the race right there? If you didn't make that move, would you have been a little bit further back in like 5th, 6th?
Yeah, I definitely think it was the race winning move. I knew pushing him wasn't the answer, and I think I at least wanted to be the control car going into final restart. I wasn't sure if Thorpe was going to get down at the time, but we kind of saw them stacking up, so I just sent it low because I had such a big run, and I knew he was going to come up there to try and block the run. I saw him do it, I think, like 2 laps ago, so I knew he was going to be aggressive. Blocking, a fair blocking for sure. And luckily, I had a car room, and they checked up a little more for Thorpe to come down there. So hey, the cards played out in our favor, but it wasn't for a lack of chaoticness for sure.
Well, Cameron, it was a heck of a win for you tonight and a heck of a 1-2 for Team Watson. Who do you have to thank at the end of this one?
Team Watson boys. So Thorpe, John Travis back out in the shop building these fast steps. So they've I think I've gone up 800 or 900 iRating, almost a 6K in the last 3 or 4 months with them. So after being stuck for a while, so shout out to the boys at Team Watson Race Steps. Make sure to go grab one. And I didn't even know y'all guys did this, so this is cool. I got told to join it real fast, so I appreciate you guys for showing some Be Open some love. So hopefully it won't be my last time up here.
Oh man, one of your team owners works for us on Tuesday nights, and he doesn't tell you about these races to get y'all in here. What the heck is that?
Yeah, well, he just did. Brian did, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll go over here real fast. So, hey, it's better late than never. So, but I appreciate it.
Hey man, congratulations on the win tonight. Congrats to all the Team Watson for putting out a good setup this week and getting a 1-2 tonight. Fantastic racing from y'all. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, boys.
Alrighty, that was Cameron Sarton, your guys' race winner tonight in the Be Open. And that's going to do it here from us at GridVision. Sheldon, what did you think of tonight's race?
Be Open, man, that was awesome. Lots of good close racing. No real big accidents. You know, we had 2 incidents in this thing, but it's good to see a nice straightforward plate race where strategy comes into play and it just comes down to a really good finish and, you know, watching guys out here making those hard moves, driving through the field. It's good, man. I like Daytona when it's not a she show, so to speak.
I'd have to agree with you, and that's what we got in the Be Open. Pretty good race that we got to see here tonight. Going to look at the schedule coming up for this week. I was mistaken a little bit earlier whenever I was talking about Champion. Actually going to the Milwaukee Mile this week for the Truck Series. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Thursday, we're going to be back for the High Slide Racing League at Kentucky at 8:20 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday night, we're going to be right back here for the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split. That's going to be NIS at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday night, we got a little bit of Major Series racing action coming at you live from the Richmond Raceway. That's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. Wait, that says 9. Oh, through 3. Never mind. I don't know. That's the wrong time. That's the wrong time. 9 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. That is a little incorrect on the graphics. 9 p.m. for the Major Series on Saturday. That's going to do it here from us at GridVision for the Ryco Performance Monday night top split action from Daytona. I've been Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Sheldon Atkins in Austin, Derbyshire. And from the entire rest of the GridVision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to Garrett Maines and Cameron Starton on winning tonight's races from the Daytona International Speedway. We will see you next time on the grid.